In this video, we are going to study about types of steel. Now first let us understand what is the steel. The steel refers to the central cylindrical region of vascular tissues. So here any plant part, the stem or the root, the center region where the vascular tissues are present, that region is said to be the steeler region. So here the steeler region, the outermost layer of the steeler region is the pericycle. So this pericycle encloses the steeler region. So here what are the tissues found in the steeler region? Pericycle, phloem, xylem. In some cases pith is present and this pith extends between the vascular bundles and it is called as the medullary rays. So the steel consists of pericycle, phloem, xylem, medullary rays and pith. So the steel is broadly classified into two types, Protosteel and Cyflow Protosteel means in Protosteel the phloem surrounds the xylem. Okay, so here you can see in the diagram figure 2.c, the red color represents the xylem and the green represents the phloem. So in the center the xylem is present and this xylem is surrounded by the phloem. This arrangement of the vascular tissue is called as Protosteel. Next, Cyflow So what is a Cyflow You can see the Ectophobic Syphinosity. You can see when the pith is in the center. Okay, pith is present. This pith is surrounded by xylem and that is surrounded by the phloem. Then it is called as Cyflow So when the pith is present in the center of the stem, then it is called as the Cyflow Okay, so there are two types of steels broadly classified, Protosteel and Cyflow So next let's study about the types of Protosteel. The types include Haplosteel, Actinosteel, Protosteel and mixed Protosteel. Haplosteel is the same when the xylem surrounded by the phloem. Then it is known as Haplosteel. Example it is and Slagnella. Next is Actinosteel. In Actinosteel, when the xylem is in the shape of a star or star-shaped xylem core is present, which is surrounded by the phloem, then it is known as Actinosteel. So in the Actinosteel, the shape of the xylem is in the form of a star shape, and this is surrounded by the phloem, then it is called as Actinosteel. Next is the Protosteel. In Protosteel, the xylem plates alternate with phloem plates. So here you can see in the diagram Protosteel, alternate xylem and phloem plates are present there. This type of arrangement of the vascular tissues, this is called as the Protosteel. Next type of Protosteel is mixed Protosteel. Mixed Protosteel means when the xylem groups, they are uniformly scattered in the phloem. That is, within the phloem, the xylem is scattered here and there. This type of arrangement is called as mixed Protosteel. Example for this mixed Protosteel is Lycopodium cernum. Next, we are going to study about the other types of Cyflow other type of steel, that is the Cyflow In Cyflow xylem is surrounded by phloem with pith in the center. Here also the xylem is surrounded by phloem, but in the center you can find pith is present there. It includes Ectophobic Syphinosity, Amphiphloic Syphinosity, Solenosteal, U-steel, Actinosteel and Polycyclic Steel. Ectophobic Syphinosity. The phloem is restricted only in the external side of the xylem. Pith is in the center. So here pith is there in the center. Okay. Pith is surrounded by the xylem and the xylem is surrounded by the phloem. This type of arrangement is called as Ectophobic Syphinosity. You can see in the diagram here. So here in the center pith is present. Surrounding the pith, xylem. Surrounding the xylem, phloem is present there. This type of arrangement is called as Ectophobic Syphinosity. Okay. Next is what the Amphiphloic Syphinosity. In Amphiphloic Syphinosity, the phloem is present on both the sides of the xylem with pith in the center. So here In amphiploic, in the center pith is present there. Surrounding this, the uh, phloem layer, then xylem, then phloem layer is present. That is, phloem is present on both the sides of the xylem. This type of arrangement is called as Amphiphloic Syphinosity. That also we can see here in this diagram here. Amphiphloic Syphinosity. So here you can see in the center pith is present. Then the green color phloem is present on both the sides of the xylem. Xylem is there in the middle, and on both the sides of the xylem the green color phloem is present. This type of arrangement is called as Amphiphloic Syphinosity. Next, we are going to study about the next type of Cyflow is Solenosteal. The steel is perforated at a place or places corresponding the origin of leaf traces. So, where the leaf origin is taking place, in that region, in the steeler region, a gap is present, perforated, a small pore or a gap is present. Then it is called as Solenosteal. Again, you can see in this diagram here Solenosteal. So here you can see above Ectophobic Syphinosity, you can see the Solenosteal. So here in the center pith is present. Surrounding the pith, xylem is present. Surrounding that xylem is present. Surrounding that phloem is present. So again I say Solenosteal, in the center pith is present, surrounded by the red color xylem, surrounded by green color phloem. You can see in one place it has an opening. Okay, the steel is not complete, it's not forming a ring. A small gap is present there. Then it is called, that is the where the region, that is called the leaf trace. Okay, this type of arrangement is called as Solenosteal. Next, you are going to study about the different types of Solenosteal. Ectophobic Solenoid and Amphiphloic Solenoid. Ectophobic Solenoid, pith is in the center and the xylem is surrounded by the phloem. Then it is called as Ectophobic Solenoid. Ecto means outer, phloem. Okay, phloic refers to phloem. That is, here pith is present. Pith is surrounded by the xylem. Xylem is surrounded by the phloem. With the leaf trace is present there. Then it is called as Ectophobic Solenoid. Next, Amphiphloic Solenoid. Amphiploic, pith is present in the center and phloem is present on both the sides of the xylem with the leaf trace. Then it is called as Amphiploic Solenoid. So here it can find in adiantum, pedatum. Next type is what? The Dictyosteel. The steel is separated into several vascular strands and each one is called as the meristeel. So here you can see in the Dictyosteel, you can see the diagram here. So here you can see that is pith is there in the center and surrounding there are numerous meristeels. Meristeels means it's a bundle like where the xylem is in the center and phloem is present on both the sides. So gaps are present there. Okay, so each bundle like structure, that is called as the Dictyosteel. Okay, here children. So here Dictyosteel, the steel is separated in several vascular strands and each one is called as the meristeel. Again it is found in adiantum, capillus, venaris. Next is the eusteel. Steel is split into distinct collateral vascular bundles. Collateral vascular bundles means the xylem and phloem, they are present together in the same radius with phloem facing outwards. Then it is called as it is called as collateral vascular bundle. So steel is split into distinct collateral vascular bundles around the pith. Example in dicot stem. So here you can find in the angiospermic plants, in the dicot stem you can find this eusteel is present where each vascular bundle will consist of phloem and xylem with phloem facing outwards, and between the phloem and the xylem cambium will be present there. That is, phloem will be present towards the epidermis. Okay, and cambium is present between the phloem and the xylem. And this vascular, they are divided into numerous vascular bundles. This type of arrangement is called as eusteel, and this here vascular bundles, they are arranged around the pith. So it is a U-steel arrangement. Next is the Actinosteel. In Actinosteel, the steel is split into distinct collateral vascular bundles and are scattered in the ground tissue. That is, Actinosteel is what? The xylem and the phloem. They are present in a vascular bundle with phloem facing towards the epidermis and xylem towards the center. And these vascular bundles, they are scattered in the ground tissue. The ground tissue is the parenchymatous tissue. So in the ground tissue, this vascular bundles are scattered here and there. Then it is called as Actinosteel. Example you can find in the monocot stem. So here again you can see in this diagram here, children. So here U-steel. In the U-steel you can see on the top you can see the U-steel. The vascular bundles are present there. That is the phloem and the xylem together forms the vascular bundle, where phloem is towards the outer side with xylem towards the center and cambium is present there. This type of arrangement is called the collateral, and this vascular bundles, they are arranged around the pith. Then it is the Actinosteel you can see. In the Actinosteel you can find numerous vascular bundles are present, and these vascular bundles, they are scattered in the ground tissue. That is in the cortex region, the parenchymatous tissue. These vascular bundles are scattered. Then it is called as Actinosteel. This Actinosteel is a characteristic feature of the monocot stem, whereas U-steel is a characteristic feature of the dicot stem. The next type of steel we are going to study is what? The polycyclic steel. The vascular tissues are present in the form of two or more concentric cylinders. Example, pteridium. So here polycyclic steel is pith is present in the center. Around that, numerous xylem and phloem bundles are present there. The rings of xylem and phloem are present. The numerous rings, many rings of xylem and phloem, they are arranged around it. Then it is called as polycyclic steel. So here the xylem and the phloem, they are arranged in the form of the rings, and these rings are numerous in number. Then it is called as polycyclic steel. So hope we have understood the different types of steel. So already we have studied here, just one recapitulation. The types of steel, there are broadly classified into two types: Protosteel, Cyflow. So in the Protosteel, the xylem is surrounded by the phloem, whereas in Cyflow, the xylem is surrounded by the phloem with pith in the center. So different types of protosteels we have studied and different types of cyclosteels we have studied. Hope you have understood this type of stellar arrangement. Thank you, children.